Welcome to the show. The Wellington Firebirds pulled off a remarkable victory over the Otago Volts in a Plunket Shield match at Queen's Park on Sunday, when a draw looked likely at the start of the last day's play. Rolling the hosts for 229 in their second innings, Wellington were left just 82 runs required to win, with visitors losing 2 wickets in the process. James Franklin clearly pleased that his Chargers banked maximum points.
We certainly believed that we could get a win, but it was a case of everything having to sort of go our way, and our bowling unit having to get 10 wickets, and obviously we chased down whatever was left, and that's very much how it panned out. Sometimes you come in with the best laid plans, and most often you come up short, but everything seemed to work for us today.
Did the wicket change markedly in the first innings? Both teams scored heavily on this wicket and suddenly a team got rolled.
Yeah, it was always a wicket where I think whether you're a fast bowler in the first 2 days or a spinner in sort of the last day and a half, you always feel as though you're in the game, and you know, there are a few batsmen in the game that played well, but I think as bowlers on this wicket, I think you always felt as though you're in with a sniff on taking wickets, and just really stoked that our bowling unit took 20 wickets for the first time for us in a 4-day game this year. So it's a nice feeling for our bowling unit at the moment in the changing sheds.
You could see the team lift too, couldn't you, as the success came today in the sniff of victory? Yeah,
there was a crucial period there just after tea. We had Otago 5 down, and I think they were about 50 runs in front, and then we got 3 wickets in 2 overs, which really changed the whole course of the match, really. So, you know, it was a critical moment and one that we jumped on.
It's great having this 4-day format, giving you a chance with so much rain interruption, the time to complete a victory.
Yeah, we're lucky that the rain never really washed out a whole day of play. So over the 4 days, we're always able to get out here and at least get like half the allotted overs of the day in, and we didn't lose too much time in the end, which was pleasing, given that we've gone into the last sort of half an hour of the game winning the game.
And in fact, you finished early today, didn't you, with a win? Yeah,
I mean, as I just said, we've finished sort of 30 minutes shy of full time, so obviously very pleasing to get the win.
Lost a couple of wickets in the chase, but really never in doubt?
No, and sometimes targets like that can be quite niggly, needing 80 off 23 overs. You know, unfortunately, Steve Murdoch and Michael Patz were the unlucky ones, but nonetheless, they're pretty happy in there, knowing that the team's had a victory.
And with teams' mindsets these days, the chases could be quite large going into the last hour or so, and you can go with some confidence. Yeah, absolutely. You know, needing 80 runs to win and getting the win obviously is very nice now. It sets us up nicely on the table. I think Canterbury are the front runners now, so we're not too far behind, and we've got them next. So it's a big game, sort of the final game of this half of the competition before we get back into the HRV T20. You didn't put yourself at the bowling crease today. What's the story there?
Oh, I've got better bowlers in my team than me at the moment. You know, that's their job, to come in and take wickets for us. I'm there if things aren't quite going to plan, but first and foremost, I've got 4 frontline bowlers, 3 seamers and a really good spinner that it's their job to go out there and lead the bowling attack and take wickets, and that was the case today. They did a great job.
So how do you feel the team is in both competitions at the moment at this point to the season?
Yeah, nicely placed. As I said, we've got a big game next week playing against Canterbury at home, so they're the front runners, and hopefully we can peg them back a little bit.
But at the start of the day, it was hard to envisage a result. What went wrong?
Yeah, I guess it's pretty disappointing, really. I mean, we did an all right job with the ball this morning to take the last 3 wickets, but we got off to a good start with the bat and then just faltered really throughout the middle.
It looked like you were going to save it around about tea time. Guys were set, time was running out, but they just got into you after the break.
Yeah, we lost some quick wickets after tea, and that sort of started the ball rolling really, and it was always hard to defend 80 runs there at the end.
Stop-start nature of the game with the weather, is that sort of difficult to perhaps get the momentum going?
Oh, I don't think so. I think that would be an excuse really for us. I think the weather's sort of gets out of our control. Really, it's the same for both teams. I think both teams had to deal with it, and we obviously just weren't up to it really in the last today.
Do you think that you might have just salvaged it though? That it just looked late in the piece that there was some hope you just hang on?
Yeah, obviously we were reasonably confident around lunchtime. Boys got us off to a good start at the top, but yeah, after that tea break, sort of losing those 3 quick wickets sort of put us under a lot of pressure really, and then to get bowled out with only 80 ahead just wasn't enough.
They seemed to bowl a bit better than they did in the first innings though.
Yeah, they bowled well. We didn't bowl nearly as good as what we'd liked in our first innings. We sort of probably let them got maybe 100 too many, I think, compared to what we should have.
Do you think they just bowled a bit short on this wicket? They seem to take toll.
Yeah, I think we bowled too much both sides, I guess. We got hurt on both sides, a lot of boundaries. It's always going to be hard. It's a hard ground to defend. It's naturally quite fast nature, so we just didn't bowl in the right areas for long enough.
What did you make of the wicket? Did it change markedly? Because you posted some decent runs, both of you, in the first innings.
Yeah, I think it took a little bit of turn. I think it was a good cricket wicket. It offered a lot for the teams if you put the ball in the right area, but it was also a good batting wicket. You could hit bad bowling, I guess. So, yeah, overall, I think it was a great cricket wicket.
Coming into this into this game, you were second, I think, on the table. That position not so solid now.
Yeah, it sort of makes us fall back a little bit into the mix now. A crucial game for us against CD on Friday, so we've got to turn it around in a pretty short period. If we can turn that around and get an outright victory there, it sort of puts us a little bit back in the hunt, I guess.
You'll be looking to a return after that to the HRV Cup, which is a very exciting competition in which you've done very well. Yeah,
we've done pretty well in the past. We got off to a good start, but I think this game on Friday is crucial for us to sort of get that ball rolling again, for us to have that first game in Alex on the 27th.
And changing formats, well, that's just part of the game these days, isn't it? You have to adapt very quickly.
Yeah, I think you see the nature of the scores in 4-day cricket, I think, have increased, and the rate of scoring as well, due to the shorter formats being introduced now. And I think guys enjoy it. It's quite refreshing to sort of chop and change between the formats.
Well, Jimmy, you look back on this game, you got some runs and some wickets, but ultimately you'd be disappointed because the team couldn't see it through.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously the main thing is to grab a win, and we didn't manage to do that today, but I suppose making a bit of a contribution in my only second first class game for a little while was pleasing individually, but yeah, overall not that happy.
The team break came at the wrong time for you, didn't it? Because you're quite well set at this stage.
Yeah, it was probably a little bit of a mistake on my part not to start again after the tea break. I think it's probably a bit of a mental error there, just sort of continuing on as I have been going beforehand, but I don't think you can really blame the outside conditions on that. I think that was probably more on my shoulders.
Wicket seemed to be quite a reasonable one. Runs there if you wanted it?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I thought it was a good wicket for all three disciplines, really. I thought there was a bit in it early for the seamers and some good pace and bounce the whole way through, and obviously a couple of century makers, so it was good enough for the bat. And then last afternoon there it started to spin a bit as well, so I thought it was almost the perfect 4-day wicket.
What was the talk amongst the team as the collapse started? Did you think you could shore up and see the day through? There's a different mindset, because you come into this game thinking it was going to be a draw today, didn't you?
I wouldn't say that. I think you never sort of count your chickens before they hatch in 4-day cricket. I think there wasn't too much talk around the collapse. I think we have confidence in our batting unit, and it's just one of those things today. It didn't quite work out. There are probably a few ill-timed dismissals, ill-timed shots, and I'm sure the boys, myself included, will probably review that over the next week and look to get better.
You'd have enjoyed the chance to play in the longer format because you get the reputation to be the short form guy, but you'd like to be recognised in all facets.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the dream is to play all three formats of the game for New Zealand, and obviously I'm not on the test team yet, so that's a big marker for me, and to perform well-ish in this game is pleasing, but I think putting a few real big performances on the board is what I'm going to have to do.
How much 4-day format will you get to play? I suppose it depends on your selection above and the commitments there. Yeah,
well, I think we might get a couple of games there in the middle in February sometime. So, and obviously another one coming up next week. So there's still enough to push your case. And obviously the 1-day form for New Zealand was a bit of a selecting factor as well. So there's a few different avenues to get in there.
And the all-round nature of your game, it just makes you a very attractive offering, doesn't it, if you can perform in both facets?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I suppose it's good when you're going well, and then when you're struggling a little bit, you're sort of not contributing with either. So it's just on my shoulders really to keep contributing with both facets of the game and keep moving forward, and that's definitely I'm trying hard to do.
And if you look at the HRV Cup, the 2020 version, you're playing in a very good team at the moment, and the performances just keep coming. Yeah,
absolutely. I haven't actually had a chance to play 2020 with the boys for a while yet in the domestic stuff, so it's been good keeping a little bit of an eye on it from afar and seeing the boys doing well.
The experience earlier in the year, you must have enjoyed that, going so well in that competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I think overall it's one of those things, at the time you're gutted to be leaving, but then when you look back at the end of it, it's sort of quite pleasing how we performed overall. I think not many people were really expecting us to go that well, so to get a few results was definitely what we were aiming for.